About 5 years ago, YouTuber Tom Scott, one of my favorite educational channels, published a video on how the US Army electrified a river to keep invasive fish out of Lake Michigan. What he couldn't know at the time was how that same electricity was seeping into the lives of those who lived next to it. I'd be lying to you if I said that this road was ever a peaceful one. Built over 120 years ago, this house sat right on the main drag of what was once the town of Romeo. Anyone that wanted to go east to west would pass through this corridor. And unlike today, it was a much busier place. This town, like many, grew along the Illinois-Michigan Canal. Built in the 1800s, it was designed to link Lake Michigan and the Mississippi River. And with this, the later and larger Chicago Sanitary Ship Canal would bring heaps of immigrants to dig the trenches, which would later turn to mining, oil, and coal in terms of the town's revenue. I've driven over this bridge my whole life, yet only discovered the existence of these homes a little over 3 years ago when I found the old town of Romeo was still listed on Google Maps. Having first came in early spring, it's haunting how eerie this location feels with no inhabitants. In 2023, it had felt like everyone had just got up and left. I would continue to visit every season, noting any new broken windows or flower pots, but nothing moved. Little did I know, someone else was checking in on the place as well. In January of 2025, I came to test out a new wide-angle lens I bought specifically to shoot this location. This is when an unmarked car slowly approached me and rolled their window down. The driver asked me what I was doing, and I told them I was just taking photos. That's when they proceeded to mention that this used to be their house. Huh? The short 20-minute conversation we would come to have is the only reason I'm doing this video today. Without it, these homes would have remained empty shells, scattered with past signs of life. This is also where I learned about the mayoral ties that this building has. Before the 80s, the only confirmed family I know to have lived here were the Starts, occupying the home for multiple decades in the early 19th century. Along with running the Island Hotel, Joseph and Anthony Starts both served separately as mayor in the early 19th century. And arguably, the most set-in-stone information I have along this whole ordeal is their last name that was engraved into a giant slab of stone that sat at the front of their steps, which I now believe is that stone right in front of those two concrete barriers, which I was able to witness before the destruction started. Our storied driver wouldn't lay claim to the house until the 1980s, where they would survive the petroleum plant explosion right across the street, noting that the front room poker game was interrupted by a window-shattering blast. While raising their children in the 90s is when the bridge came, bringing invasive construction from the pillars and monumental snowfall due to the snowplows pushing the snow over the bridge onto their roof. In the 2000s, they purchased the yellow house off the children of the original owners, who were now in their 80s. Shortly after, they would also acquire the blue house in the back, which they would then turn into rental spaces. As if they couldn't be bothered anymore, the Army Corps of Engineers would soon start building the electric fish barrier, designed to keep invasive carp out of Lake Michigan. This would be a successful venture, but the might of it would be felt by more than just the carp. Our driver mentions the first time they started noticing small electric shocks when touching the water pump outside or the laundry machine in the basement. As these became more frequent, starting to affect the well pumps is when they spoke up about the issue. As mentioned in Tom Scott's original video, there are multiple blast-proof rooms housing numerous capacitors that are meant to energize two 160-foot metal grates that go underneath the canal. These grates are powered between 2 to 4 volts an inch, 30 times a second. Once notified about stray electricity creeping out of their facility, the government was quick to announce that the last 3 houses of true Romeo were now unfit to live in. While I'm not at the liberty to disclose the initial offer the government made for all 3 properties, let's just say for 2022 values, it was laughable. Thankfully, the owners were able to negotiate more and were able to move out of state, marking the last few years these homes have left. So here I stand, making a video I don't think I would have if I hadn't seen the state of these buildings today. The damage has really ramped up across the winter, and I don't think that these will last the season. As a lover of history, I felt a duty to tell as many people as I could about this before they were gone forever. Please do not subscribe to this channel. If you'd like to support, please leave a like or a comment to boost the engagement, but I will not be posting again anything like this. Thanks for watching.